What's up YouTube, Dell here from Zephyr, and today I am bringing you an update to Earthbound post-Phantom Nightmare. That's right, Earthbound got a really cool new card in the form of Earthbound Fusion, which is a quick play spell card which definitely helps the deck out, being able to dodge really annoying hand trap interactions on its main combo piece. This is going to be the Resonator version, slightly updated as well, because that seemed to be the most popular version and it's the one that I've had the most fun with. So with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. Diving headfirst into the profile, we start off with triple Earthbound Stone Sweeper. So this is your searcher to get everything going. Now what you need to be very careful of is the format that we are going into is definitely going to be Droll heavy, especially when you've got cards like Populous and of course Bonfire running around. So you do need to be very careful when you're activating cards like this, which is why what is currently missing from the deck is Instant Fusion and Call By, and I'll definitely be putting them back into the deck and I'll explain what I'm going to take out in order to do so. It was just messing around with some of the ratios in order to fit everything in that I wanted to. So then of course we do play 3 of the other keeper as well, the ground keeper. This is your main starter. Now if you can do everything without using your normal summon, even better, and that's where the Earthbound Fusion comes into play, as it does have a very nice graveyard effect that you can banish it to special on an Earthbound monster from your hand or graveyard, which is absolutely amazing because it means if you do quick play Fuse into using your groundkeeper, you can then bring it back from the graveyard, meaning that you can maintain your normal summon for any of the other cards that you might want. Then of course 2 Line Walker, obviously the card that comes out of the deck off of the back of your ground. Then we've got the 1 Line Walker in general. I have kind of stuck with the Earthbound play, and the one that I chose to go with this time was Kapapakapu. I just wanted to be a bit more aggressive in this build, which is why you'll also see that the hand traps are a little bit more on the minimum side, for the pure fact that I didn't really want to try and worry about Droll and Lockbird. I wanted to try and push through on an aggressive way to get into stuff like Kakapakapu, reduce my opponent's life points to 3,000, and then punch through for the remaining damage. Then of course we've got triple Earthbound Fusion. So this is the brand new card in Phantom Nightmare. You can only activate this card during the main phase unless a card is in the field zone. Fusion summon 1 Dark Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. Now obviously this is going to be better in the runic version because the deck naturally consistently gets to the field spell a lot easier, but it still means it's still an incredibly good card for the deck in general no matter what version you are playing. If a card is in the field zone, you get to banish this card from the graveyard to special on 1 Earthbound monster from your hand or graveyard. You can't special on monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except fusions or synchros, which is absolutely fine because that's exactly what you're going to be doing anyway. Then of course we do have the 1 Earthbound Prison. Now in regards to field spells, that's something you're going to want to focus on a lot more, so you can start playing cards that will be a little bit more defensive or a little bit more restrictive to your opponent, which is obviously going to be better if you're going to go first, because then you could consider playing stuff like Necro Valley. Heck, if you're able to get a spellcaster on the board, and that's something that I want to look for, is I want to see what type of spellcasters we have as options that could be fused through Harmonic Synchro Fusion or Synchroed, and of course other ways that you can get to off the back of the Earthbound, because if you're able to Secret Village lock your opponent, that can also be pretty damaging. Then of course we've got the 1 Harmonic Synchro Fusion. I've cut this down from 2 to 1 just because the deck space is a lot tighter, because you're now adding in 3 Earthbound Fusions. So it's definitely something you need to consider of what particular route you want to take. Moving on to the supporting cards and then the additional engines. Of course we do have the 1 1-for-1. This is great for your groundkeeper because this is going to be able to get into your level 1 and start your combo again, maintaining your normal summon. But it can also help you get into the Psy Reflector package. Now, the only downside of the Psy Reflector package is you do play bricks in the form of the Assault Mode Activate and Beast, alongside with triple E-Telly. But they're still really, really good nonetheless, because it's an engine that can help you get into a Synchro level 8, but also get you into other Synchro level monsters should you need to, and adapt the levels can be very important. That's also where cards like the Vision Resonators, and of course the Synchron Resonator, Red Resonator, and Resonator Cool come into play. I've also got the 1 Crimson Gaia in case you do end up sending the Vision Resonator. You can then search out the Gaia and go from there. You can also play the trap cards for the Crimson cards if you want to, that Vision can search. Again, the reason I've cut the Vision Resonator cooldown to 2, and I'm highly considering cutting the Gaia out completely and putting in the trap card and then bumping Vision up to 3, is because of this Droll format that I expect we'll be going into. It's going to be very rare to resolve these card effects, and you're probably going to get stopped more times than not when you're trying to do so. So you're probably better off hard opening those particular cards, especially when these can be used as fusion materials, whereas these can't. Then the last card that I've updated for the monster side is, of course, triple Kaiser Vorse Raider. Now, this is a card that I was talking about previously in the other build when I used Super Quant Red Layer. This one is if you control no monsters, again, you special summon it from the hand. It does have an additional effect that if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it gains 500 attack. And if it's destroyed by battle, the monster that destroys it loses 500, which can be quite nice. But the main reason for this is that it's a dark, so it has more synergy with your fusion plays, as well as if you decide to play a Law instead of Pot of Prosperity, this will be a great target to just banish off the back of that. So that's it for pretty much the main deck staples, I would say, or May staples. Then, of course, the draw card is Pot of Prosperity. You can very easily play a Law of Darkness, like I mentioned. As I want to go second and be aggressive, I've gone with 2 talents and 2 imperm. Again, adapt it to your local environment. If you want to be a bit more defensive, I would probably cut the triple tactic talents out for Called by the Grave and Instant Fusion, and that gives you a bit more protection for your burn-rooted play, where you'd go through stuff like your Line Walker, reduce your opponent's life points to 3,000, and go from there. The best thing about that is Line Walker reduces their life points to 3,000. It doesn't do them a set amount of damage, meaning that it can play around the Pot of Prosperity that your opponent takes half damage, because technically, you're not actually causing them any damage. Moving on to the extra deck. Now, as a disclaimer, I am missing the Gremlina, the fusion monster that came in Age of Overlord. I didn't have it with me as I was recording this profile, but I would definitely be adding it into the deck. We, of course, play the one Earthbound Servant Yugioh, and this is actually a little bit easier to make now that we have Earthbound Fusion, so you can actually get into this quite easily because you will be able to get an Earthbound Fusion and Synchro on the board. Then, of course, we are playing for the rest of the direct Earthbound cards. 2 Geogriffin. You could play the 1 Gremlina in place of a Geogriffin. It really comes down to personal preference of what you would want to take out in this particular lineup. I'll show you some other options that you can change around as well. So you've got the 1 Gremlin and the 1 Kraken, all pretty straightforward and simple on that one. And then, of course, for your other fusion monsters that I'm playing the 1 Dracus Depelia. I still do want to play the Dark World Greffa, but it's trying to find the consistency in order to do so. It will, of course, help you when you are playing Muddy Mud Dragon. Now, I have learnt a lot with Harmonic Synchro Fusion, because technically it doesn't Synchro Fusion this. But in versions when you are using the Resonators like I am, it's a lot easier to actually just use Harmonic Synchro Fusion on your other monsters like these, and then go into something like your Muddy Mud Dragon with your synchro plays normally, and that can then allow you to get into stuff like Dragoon if you get another dragon on the board. It can get you into the Greffa Dragon as well, so you've got loads more options. Heck, what I also do really like about the idea of Muddy Mud Dragon is technically it could get you into the brand new Yubel monster, which would be very funny. And then, of course, for the other synchros that we are playing, again, this is just to show you a variety. You don't have to play these exactly as I show you them, but there are reasons behind it. So you've got your Dawn Dragster as your level 7 general spell and trap negate. For the 8s, I've tried to stick with the Red Dragon Archfiend kind of theme. So you've got your Scarred, you've got your Red Dragon Archfiend, and then, of course, you've got your Abyss Dragon. And then for the other ones, we've got the 1 Shen Shen. So this is a one that is an alternative option. You can take it out. You don't need to play it. It's just one of them ones where if the environment you're taking this to will lose if their cards are getting banished from the field, Shen Shen's a great option for you. Other than that, it will become Gremlina, which is the other fusion monster that he's missing. 1 Baron, 100 Eyes Dragon, and of course I do play the 1 Groza. So it's just a really kind of cool card that gives you the ability to negate during your opponent's turn, and all it requires is a non-tuner Fiend monster. So it can be done quite easily throughout the deck if you want to, and it really is up to you on your particular choices. But this arguably can be flexible, so can a second Geoservant. So it is up to you on what you'd want to take with it, or what you'd want to build, and how, like I said, that the overall outgo of the deck. Do you want it to be themed? Do you want it to be aggressive? Do you want it to be defensive? But yeah, I mean, not much has really changed since the previous update. I just thought it'd be kind of cool because I couldn't find any lists online that involved the new Harmonic Synchro Fusion, not Harmonic Synchro Fusion, sorry, the Earthbound Fusion that weren't runic. And I was like, well, the deck can still utilize that card. And a lot of people have forgotten that it even comes in this set. So when I saw it at Sneak Release this weekend, I was like, well, I have to pick this up as a playset. And I know a lot of people that like the Earthbound archetype itself will want to be doing the same. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful and informative and given you a couple of ideas and a structure for you to kind of use and utilize for the Earthbound strategy going forward and using the brand new Earthbound Fusion. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe and, of course, happy dueling.